Are you ready?
My name is Vanda.
Surrender is one of those funny words that actually trigger and trick your mind. Because the truth is that what are you surrendering to and who are you surrendering to and what are you surrendering for? There we go. Just surrender, just let go. Absolutely. But surrender and let go to who, what, and when. Surrender is like the log of knowing. You have to know when to take your hand off the railing, just as much as you need to know when to take your hand off the rope. If the rope or the log is taking you somewhere or guiding you somewhere. Surrender and guidance are like a weave. They kind of communicate in the same way. What disrupts you to surrender is fear, worry, doubt, confusion. That's the contrast. The reason we have the log or the rope or the guidance and the inner threads of knowing come from your higher source of communication and knowing, from you, your higher self, God, the threads of communication. A lot of people have a lot of things to say because they're seeing you from an aspect of themselves. I'm here to prompt you and just plant the seed that yes, there is a time to let go, and yes, there is a time to surrender, and yes, there is a time to do all of that if you are connected to your own inner guidance. I see so many people surrendering before their time, letting go of situations and getting distorted into other situations because of their egos or powered up emotions that are completely robbing them of their vision and inner clarity. It happens to all of us. How many times have you got so angry that you literally wanted to shoot somebody or like grab them and throw them with something? You go, oh my goodness, where did that come from? It's an impulsive, reactive thought that it had many actions, right? We'll go through it. Those are the experience of being human and being alive and being in this grand, vast, diverse world that has that available for you to express or not. But today is about surrendering. What do you surrender? And why would you surrender? And who do you surrender it to? Do you surrender to somebody else? Would you surrender to somebody else because of what you think they might have done, if they're deserving or needing it? Or should we ask the question of what is complete surrender? When somebody is completely surrendering and you're putting hands up, there's got to be a knowing inside of you that knows your truth, that you're surrendering to the nonsense, or you're surrendering to the chaos, or you're surrendering to things that are not true. You don't care because you know. Knowing is in your heart, right? So today's conversation or today's episode and series is all about to prompt you to literally go in there and go, hello? Are you up for grabs into the surrendering and letting go part? There's a lot of conversation going, let go of this, let him go, let go of that relationship, cut them off, decord them, do this, do that. You guys crazy? Every relationship is every relationship and will always be every relationship. How you surrender and how you let these relationships go absolutely matter to who? To you, your soul, and your book of life. Come on. Everybody needs to wake up. The sooner you wake up, the better it gets for all of us. Starting with you. You surrender to yourself and your higher self in your knowing. You can't go surrender in a situation when you're angry and distorted and furious and skeptical and fearful and all that. Why? Because you're going to get dragged down into the undercurrents of the underground world. It's going to gobble you up because that's what you're thinking about. In those stages when you're going down, it becomes toxic. It becomes heavy. It's slow. And it's nasty. And it grabs you by your wits. What are you surrendering to at that point? Into a massive dosage of stress and depression and an antidote that you just need to get free from yourself? This is a serious conversation. For real. If you're going to surrender, and when you surrender, you have to have some key things to think about and what you're surrendering to. Are you surrendering to your higher self and to the God aspect of yourself? Or if you don't believe in God, you've got the universe and the source of universe and it's light, not its chaos and confusion. You have to be strict about that. You have to be firm, because if you're not, you're surrendering into the lion's den. Why? Because they're greedy, they're hungry, and they're fearful, and they live in lack. And your abundance could be far more than they could ever think about. And these are things that concern us all, because we are here to surrender to a higher good of humanity. We're surrendering here into kindness and knowing that love is the ultimate union to all that disturbs the peace within ourselves, our minds, and who we are. This is real, and this is important, because our children are up for grabs if there is not enough clarity and a unionism of relationships. You're strong as the relationship within you and you. Now that is a scary thought, right? Because you start talking to people and people's relationships with themselves are all closed up. Full of disappointments, full of resentments, full of fears, full of skepticism, full of this. They have to see it to believe it. When was the last time you saw God? When was the last time you saw love? When was the last time you saw these intangible things that are so powerful and the greatest ripple effect of your life? When was the last time you saw that? Or did you feel it and did you know that in your heart? It's undeniable. Surrender is a big word. And you're a big person. You're an important person. You think, you feel, and you act. Those three things are vastly important, because it's in the way you think and in the way that you feel that determine how you are going to be acting and responding in your life. If you're catching yourself reacting, well, what do you know? You're surrendering to the chaos, to the noise, to other people's demands, other people's needs, other people's influences over you. Now, I'm not saying don't grab your hand and extend your hand for the support to be influenced by righteousness. Not righteousness. I don't even know if I would go there, but I would definitely go influence into kindness and love and opportunity and fun and creation and collaboration and calibration and positivity and a willingness to find out more of who you are. Yes, go ahead and do that. Right? So, surrender. Let me give you some ideas and some points of what is a possible thing for you to surrender to. Today, surrender your fears. Go ahead and surrender all your anxiety. Woo! It is in these moments that you know that. It's in these moments that you need to know that there is a time for you to let go. Letting go of the things that rob you, letting go of the things that take away from you and others, letting go of the feelings that are not supporting you to master yourself to be the ultimate creator, then today is that day for you to still yourself and surrender you, your mind, and your feelings of the past so that you're able to be very, very, very present in this moment. That is how powerful this is. When you're knowing that your inner guidance has the power within you to take you where you already know you are. That, for me, is the gem. That, for me, is the truth and has the power and the glory to overcome all things. Words are just words. It is vibration that is intentional. It is vibration that is the creation. It is vibration that is the master thread of threads that touches this tapestry and divine force in this cosmic play that creates us to be who we are today. Okay, right. So if you need a moment for yourself today, just think about what fear could I surrender today so that I can let go of a way of being that is holding me in a vibrational block that holds me back from being who I really, really, really am. And truthfully, who your soul knows who you are. If that's too big of a gap and upreach there for you, who your higher self knows. You're wise, you're knowing, you are connected, but it is up to you to tune in. Right? Okay, with that, I want to help you understand that maybe your surrender factor is taking on a different meaning than what you feel it is. And that is a real thing. I hear people saying, and not only I hear people saying, I've gone through a series of clients and situations and therapies and workshops where a surrender was misinterpreted because sometimes we feel threatened and refuse to surrender and choose to let go of situations or a relationship because you refuse to surrender your ego. Only you can master that one, but it is a big one to put a big, big, big light on it and start peeling away or drawing the curtains back so that you have more clarity on it. Your ego is there to support you, not to harm you. If your ego is creating situations where you are taking away from yourself and others, well, then we need to look at what needs to be surrendered so that you can let go of that. But surrendering and letting go are not the same thing. They come from the same diameter of contrast, but they're not the same thing. Just like me loving and you loving me are two very different things. The base and the foundation is love. But do you have the capacity to love me without knowing me? Depends, right? On your who? On your own evolution. What have you surrendered and let go of to be in that space to recognize that? I know this is a big conversation, but it is a great conversation to start off with. One, do you feel that surrendering and letting go are the same thing? And are you prepared to surrender an aspect of yourself so that you can let yourself be in the midst of your ego or a powerful emotional force that is disrupting your inner well-being? These are all great questions. So you're probably thinking, so why do I need to know what I need to surrender? Right? What is it that what is it the most important that I could surrender so that I can gently let it go? That comes from the space within you And that's where it gets a little bit tricky, because you have to surrender the noise of your mind so that you can let go of the thoughts that are coming in. That is a great analogy right there. If you can surrender to just being still and breathing and closing your eyes and allowing your thoughts to just be like clouds moving through you, then you are letting go of what you need to think. And then boom, as you do that, your own innate feeling and essence of who you are and that connection between you, your higher self, connects. And in that moment, your inner guidance sparks that light. And you go, I know what I want, or I know what I need to do. It's time for me to just love and let them go, because they love me and I love them. And those are the moments of true surrender. Those are the moments when prayers are answered, when miracles are created, received and delivered. Those are the moments that are meaningful, that have purpose, because you have given yourself the space and let go of the perception of how things need to be. Sometimes we just need enough wiggle room or enough space. So I just want to leave you with that. I also want to remind you that our spaces bring in this energy because they have an energy there. So surrender the need for everything to be perfect and allow yourself to let go of what you need to do and what you should do, because your higher self has already surrendered to you being the ultimate powerful choice to all of your creations and experiences. It's beautiful. It's beautiful wisdom that you have within you. Don't take it for granted. Surrender today a fear that's blocking you. Surrender and let go of something that is no longer serving you. Okay? Stay good, stay strong, stay powerful, and stay in your heart and clear up that powerful mind of yours, because not only are you worth it, you are the worth that carries that. Okay?